30 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish. I'm joined by Roman and Drew, and today we're going to be talking about Davis Mills, the man of the hour, the guy who everyone's been talking about. And yesterday he started in his first game of his NFL career, and he's only played 1.5 games against two playoff caliber teams in the Browns and the Panthers. And obviously, a lot of people think he had a solid debut. David Culley has a lot of confidence in him. He says that, I think we found out he can do a lot more than we thought he could. And he added that going forward, the offense will be run in a more wide open fashion than the way it was with Tyrod Taylor in the lineup. So you can expect to see much more aggressive play calling in the upcoming games. But what are y'all's assessment on Davis Mills so far?
Well, first of all, that quote that you mentioned was actually kind of impressive because it shows us that maybe they even trust Mills as a passer even more than they did as Tyrod, and they know that Mills can make all the throws. A couple positives from Davis Mills, I would say that he can escape sacks, roll out of the pocket. He is kind of sneaky athletic. Like we have talked about in the past, he does have a little bit of speed there. And then he's very sharp in the intermediate and short passing game. And we saw a couple plays where he threw it on the run. It was 3rd and 2. They put him out of the pocket. Little sprint out action to Anthony Miller, just threw it, 1st down, 3rd down. And then on the touchdown to Anthony Miller, we saw a little mesh play where he went through his progressions. The drags of the mesh weren't open. And then Anthony Miller was just kind of wide open in the back of the end zone, which is really good because he's able to look around, see who's open or not. And then there was another big play to Brandon Cooks where it was a 2-minute drive. It was probably 30 or 40-yard pass, corner route, in between two players. Mills kind of just put it in the spot where only Brandon Cooks could get there. But Brandon Cooks did a great job of settling in that zone. And it was a really great pass. Very impressive there. But I really had nothing wrong with how Mills played. I would say this is kind of something that happens for any rookie quarterback. He just kind of got a little pressured a lot, and then he kind of freaks out. He'll scramble out when the pressure comes. And really, he could have just stayed in the pocket. There was a couple of times where if he just stayed in the pocket, maybe he could have checked it down, thrown the ball away too. He kind of took a couple of sacks there, but that happens too. If he just stays in there, instead of rolling out immediately, he didn't have to do that. He's just going to learn from there. So my negatives are really kind of positives because we know that he can fix that. His positives are really good positives because we know that he can make all those throws. And I have a little comparison I was thinking about this morning. I see him as kind of a smarter Daniel Jones. We saw Mills take care of the ball last night, which is something Daniel Jones doesn't do. And we saw that he actually has some athleticism, something we know Daniel Jones does have some athleticism. And Davis Mills actually made the good throws. So if you think of a peak Daniel Jones, think of someone better than that. Someone who has athleticism, better ball placement, smarter, takes care of the ball, kind of tall. Mills is pretty tall. I think he's like 6'5", something around that. But I'm really impressed with Davis Mills. I feel like if we just give him more opportunities, let him throw the ball a little more. Let's not have 4 passes with 1 minute and 44 seconds left in the second half. And let's just see what he can do.
I really love what I've seen from Davis Mills for these 1.5 games so far. And 2 things that I really take away are his composure and confidence. To be a 3rd-round rookie quarterback and be faced with 2 top 10 defenses in back-to-back weeks and in a very short week. I think he only had maybe 3 days of practice, 2 days of practice if even. And for him to come in here and play as well as he did, it takes a lot of composure. Stand in the pocket to take some hits, to escape the pocket to take some hits. And then last week against the Cleveland Browns, we all remember that crazy hit that he took from Grant Delpit, I think. And just his composure to get up, hit after hit, keep his head in the game, not really rattle his cage, I guess. And there's 2 past games, he's had a post-game interview where he said something similar to that. He doesn't really lose composure or something in that realm, that he just tries to stay in his zone. And that goes back to his college days at Stanford. I remember he did some kind of pre-draft some kind of pre-draft press conference or something like that, and he kept talking about how he doesn't really lose composure. He loves to be confident. He loves to be in the moment, and he doesn't shy away from things like this. And for him to be a third-round rookie and not really get hated on, but not really be the most excited, or I don't know how to explain it, but like not that many people were excited to see Davis Mills play. They would have rather seen Tyrod. And for him to hear all the noise throughout the week, and for him to perform as well as he did, just think, he's a third-round rookie. You can't put too much expectations on him. And for as well as he played, I think he did pretty darn good. The throws he was making, as Drew said, he was able to escape the pocket. He was able to find these wide open guys like the Anthony Miller touchdown. And my favorite throw of the night by far was Brandon Cook's corner out. I believe he was like the second or third read, or maybe he was possibly looking off the safety. I'm not sure. But he was looking to the left side of the field, and then he scanned to the right. And it wasn't even a whole second till he already made the throw to Brandon Cooks. It was a perfect throw, perfect spiral, perfect height on the ball for it to land perfectly in Brandon Cooks' hands right before he hit the sideline. It was just a perfect throw all around that a lot of NFL quarterbacks really wouldn't be able to make with, I guess, the time span that he had. But, yeah, I really loved what I've seen from Mills so far.
Yeah, Mills has continued to impress his own teammates and other players on the other team. Of course, like Hassan Reddick had a lot of praise for Davis Mills. He said he's very tough. He escaped Hassan Reddick on multiple occasions, and so Hassan Reddick said he had a lot of respect for Davis Mills, and so that's a pretty good compliment coming from a guy of that kind of caliber. So Davis Mills, we might see 3 or 4 more games from him, considering Tyrod Taylor's timetable to return. And so, but the next 3 or 4 games that the Texans have are the Bills, the Patriots, the Colts, the Cardinals, the Rams, who all have pretty good defenses. So, I mean, it's going to be really challenging for Davis Mills. I mean, it only gets harder from here. But at the same time, we're going to see how he deals with this kind of really tough adversity, because those are all, a lot of people think those teams are playoff caliber teams. And so we're going to see how Davis Mills faces this kind of challenge, and I'm really rooting for him. The whole point of him playing it out is to see if he has enough potential for us to maybe draft a defensive player instead of drafting a quarterback in next year's draft. But yeah, any final thoughts on Davis Mills?
I would just kind of repeat what I said earlier. Just if everybody's more confident in him. I know Tim Kelly, David Coley, was a short week. They ran the ball a lot. I mean, like I said, there was 4 pass attempts by Davis Mills with 1 minute and 44 seconds left in the second quarter. So if you start the game off, and even if you run up tempo, I remember they ran empty with Davis Mills, and he did pretty good. He found this guy, Brandon Cooks. Anthony Miller got a little action in there. And obviously with a healthy team, I think this team will play better as a whole. But Davis Mills, just keep developing. It was a great start for him. I feel like he's only going to get better.
The next game that Davis Mills is going to play is against the Buffalo Bills, and that's going to be a major test for him. From playing 3 top 10 defenses, from the Browns to the Panthers and then now the Bills, he's going to be hit with some very powerful pass rushers, very good cornerbacks. Tre'Davious White's probably going to be matched up against Brandon Cooks. It's going to be very interesting to see how they use Davis Mills in the pass game. We all know that the Bills have a pretty good pass rush, and as I said, a pretty good secondary with Tre'Davious White and some other guys. I think they have Jordan Poyer at safety, something like that. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how they use Davis Mills in the pass game in that game.
Yeah, and that pretty much wraps up the video on Davis Mills. We're definitely going to be revisiting this topic later down the season, maybe after Tyrod Taylor gets reactivated from IR. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your thoughts on Davis Mills. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you all for watching. Peace.